pradhana kala ashaya dharma sangrahe sharire esha pratipadya chetanam kriya palatvena vibhuh विभाव्यते यथा अनलः दारुषु तद्गुणात्मकः प्रधानकालस्य धर्मसङ्ग्रहे शरीर एष प्रतिपद्य चेतनाम् क्रियाफलत्वेन विभुर्विभाव्यते यथा दारुषु तद्गुणात्मकः प्रधानकालस्य धर्मसङ्ग्रहे शरीर एष प्रतिपद्य चेतनाम् क्रियाफलत्वेन विभुर्विभाव्यते क्रियाफलत्वेन विभुर्विभाव्यते यथा दारुषु तद्गुणात्मकः दारुषु तद्गुणात्मकः.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We cannot hear you. Oh.
Chetana, consciousness, kriya, activities, palatvena, by the result of, vibhu, the supreme personality of Godhead, vibhavyate, manifested, yatha, as much as, analaha, fire, darushu, in the wood, tat gunatmakaha, according to the shape and quality. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-pervading, but is also manifested in different types of bodies which arise from a combination of material nature, time, desires, and occupational duties. Thus different types of consciousness develop, such just as fire, which is always basically the same, blazes in different ways according to the shape and dimension of firewood. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly lives with the individual soul as Paramatma. The individual soul has awareness in accord with his material body, which he attains by the virtue of Prakriti or material nature. The material ingredients are activated by the force of time, and thus the three material modes of nature are manifested. According to his association with the three modes of nature, The living entities develop a particular type of body. In the animal life, the material modes of ignorance is so prominent that there is a very little chance of realizing the Paramatma, who is also present within the heart of the animal. But in the human form of life, because of developed consciousness, Chetanam, one can be transferred from ignorance and passion to goodness by the result of his activities. Kriya Phalatvena. A human being is therefore advised to associate with spiritually advanced personalities. The Vedas give the direction. Tadvijnanartam sagurumeva abhigacchit in the Upanishad. In order to reach perfection of life or to understand the real constitutional position of the living entity, one must approach the spiritual master. Gurum eva abhigacchit. One must. It is not optional. It is imperative that one approaches a spiritual master. For such association, one proportionately develops his consciousness towards the Supreme.
I don't know what happened, Mataji. Can you connect him, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
My bonnet is out of charge, Mataji. I just checked it out. Sorry, Mataji. Can Laltani Mataji connect?
Yeah. Vardhana Mataji is also there. Vardhana Mataji, can you connect him?
Mataji, I'm outside, Mataji.
Okay. Lalitangi Mataji, are you there?
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Can you connect Kamal Lochan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, are you there?
I am there.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Please continue.
Of course, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost step on the staircase of self-realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, according to one's development in consciousness, one realizes his spiritual identity. And thus, when one's existential position is purified fully, he becomes situated in Brahmananda, which is ultimately unlimited. Therefore, the Sankirtan movement contributed by the Supreme Personality embodied as Lord Chaitanya is the direct and the easiest process for coming to the purest form of consciousness, Krishna consciousness, the platform on which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully realized. Directions for performing different types of yajnas are specifically arranged for the highest realization of the Supreme Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord Himself. Etamam prapadyante tam suteva bhajamyam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is realized according to the proportion of one's surrender. Full surrender, however, occurs when a man is perfectly in knowledge. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanam mam prapadyate. Om Jnanatvirandaram Janashudakaya. Chaksharon yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupat Kadamiham Dadati Swapadantika. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya. Shri Rupam Sakrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadutam Bharijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganarida Shivishakani Kamasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Ritu Maharaj is giving the pravachan. He is speaking to all the citizens. Once he was welcomed by all the citizens very nicely to the beautiful city, the capital of Ritu Maharaj. Then he is giving a talk to all the citizens. Generally we know the pravachan or the talk, the spiritual discourses are given by the sadhus and the sannyasis. But the king giving a talk is very important here because Krishna is told in the Bhagavad Gita, Ivam Rajarashiyo Viduhu. This knowledge was known by the Rajarishis. So it is very important to have Rajarishis because the administration of the state is in the hand of the kings. The administration of the temple is generally in the hand of the sannyasis and the sadhus who stay there. But the administration of the entire country is in the hand of the king. It is very important for the king not only to have spiritual knowledge, but also explain the spiritual knowledge to citizens in such a way it is very practical to them. Sometimes the knowledge of the scriptures given by the sadhus or the sannyasis may not be understood by the citizens in a practical way. But it is a king's responsibility to make the philosophy practical, and that is called management. Sometimes we say, oh, philosophy is different and management is different. No, it is not. Management is nothing but the practical application of philosophy. So for the practical application of philosophy, you should not only know the philosophy, you should also know how it can be practically applied by everybody according to their status, according to their capacity. That is why we have the spiritual masters in our movement. At the same time, we have this Bhakti Riksha program, or the counseling program, or the self program, or whatever you may name it, Namahatta program. Why it is there? Because that is a place where philosophy is made practical. A sadhu or a sannyasi may come and just give a discourse on Achintya Veda Tattva and give a big discourse on Srimad Bhagavatham. But how is it going to be applied practically for a child? Everybody according to their modes of nature, according to different situations in their life, according to Varna and Ashrama. Who is going to do that? Not only explain how to do it practically, but also make it practical, give a facility for executing the principles of philosophy in a practical way. Who is going to do that? Administrator. That's called a temple president or the king, whoever it may be, administration. The biggest problem came is when you separate administration from philosophy. Management and philosophy cannot be separated because management is a practical application of philosophy. And here Prithu Maharaj is so practical. So he starts speaking to the assembly. He says that it is a great fortune for all of you. It is a great fortune for me also because I've got an opportunity to speak some truth in front of you. He says that I have somehow been engaged in giving a stick in my hand, danda. That means to give punishment to the people who have done something wrong. And the citizens to do something wrong or to instill some fear not to do something wrong, I've been giving the danda. At the same time, I have been given the responsibility to protect you. and protect dharma. Dharma rakshati rakshita. By protection of dharma, everybody is protected. So it is my duty to protect dharma. That is why I want to speak something to you about dharma. Please listen to me. And he says that I am actually living tax because uh, hmm, uh, dharma has to be protected. If I am putting a taxes on you without protecting dharma, then I will be very simple. He goes on speaking different aspects. And first thing what he speaks is about pure devotional service. He says that those who actually practice dharma, those who profess dharma, and those who inspire dharma, all of them will be completely satisfied. All of them will be very happy. So one should worship Supreme Lord because Supreme Dharma is pure devotional service. So he goes on speaking about pure devotional service. He's taking shelter of Supreme Lord. Idangri mole kritake punar nasam sprutim kleshavaham prapatyate. He says, one who takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord with pure mind, completely detached from the modes of nature, engrossed in realizing the beauty of the Lord's form, does not come to this material world, does not suffer the pangs of this material world. When he said this thing, many citizens were told, oh, it is not possible. Immediately just fixing our mind totally in Krishna and giving up all material attachments, giving up all desires, how is it possible for us? It is not possible for us because we are drowned in household affairs. We are drowned in so much of endeavors to satisfy our desires. Then, answering this question by the citizens, Ritu Maharaj gives a practical solution for all of us. Because if you go and tell someone, just chant and be happy, of course, it's the statement given by Prabhupada, which seems to be very simple and very wonderful. But the most difficult instruction which Prabhupada gave to us is this thing, chant and be happy. The statement chant and be happy seems to be very, very simple and very jovial, very wonderful. Okay, just chant and be happy. Somebody comes and says, oh, I am suffering, I got a stomach pain, chant and be happy. Oh, I have got some desires, I want to eat something, and I want to achieve something, I want to get married. Forget about all this, chant and be happy. So it is very seemingly simple statement, but it is very complicated, very not easy to practice. Chant and be happy means if you have Japmala, you don't require anything else. What else is required to us if you have Japmala because nothing else? Because if there is no Japmala, whole world is zero. If you have the Japmala and chanting, everything you have, totally engrossed in the holy name. Now tell me how many people are like that? Not possible. That is why Krishna also in the Bhagavad Gita, he gives an option. Mayeva nadasva maye buddhim nivesha niveshasti mayeva athurdhuna samsaya. First chapter. Krishna says that mayeva nadasva, you completely engross your mind in me. Maye buddhim nivesha, you completely engross your intelligence in me. Maye buddhim niveshaya niveshyati mayeva. You just live for me. Athurdhuna samsaya. There is nothing beyond it. So just see how many of us can practice this principle of pure devotional service. Not only pure devotional service, prema, love at first sight. How is it possible? Anybody do it immediately? Yes. It was possible for the Dijapatnis. It was possible for the Gopis. That is, for them, Krishna is their life. They are living only for Krishna. Nivashishyaji mayeva. But we are not living only for Krishna. We pray to Krishna, oh Krishna, please give me more life so that I can enjoy, I can take care of my family, I can do this thing, I can complete this, I can do this job, I can get this. So our life is not, our consciousness is not in the platform of prema. Then Krishna says, okay, if you cannot do that, then do sadhana bhakti. That is why in the next verse, in the 12th chapter, it says that atachittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichaptum dhananjaya. Atachittam samadhatum. If you are not able to maintain your consciousness in the fixed way, if you are not able to fix your mind in me spontaneously, what you do? Apajittam samadhatum na shaknoshi. If you are not able to do, na shaknoshi means not able to do, then what you do? Abhyasa yogena tato. Practice sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is also pure devotional service. The beginning stage of pure devotional service is sadhana bhakti. Then you practice sadhana bhakti. That is 24 hours being engaged in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, Padasevanam, Archana Mandaram, Darshan, Sakya Mahatmane, Nivedanam. This is a practice of pure devotional service. Let me do this. So now somebody say, whole day, these 9 things I have to do. Oh, no, I got lot of work. I got lot of responsibilities. How can I just be engrossed in devotion 24 hours a day? Then comes Krishna says, okay, Abhyas Yogya Samarthos. If you are asamartha, if you are not able to do that abhyasa, sadhana bhakti, 24 hours sadhana, if you are not able to do it, abhyasepya samarthoti, matkarma paramo bhava. Matkarma paramo bhava. What is the meaning of matkarma paramo bhava? You work for me. Because you are attached to work, so you work for me. When you are attached to work and you are working for me, then gradually what happens? Abhyasepya samarthoti matkarma paramo madarthapi karmani kurvam siddham. When you are doing karma for my sake, you will attain siddhi, you will attain perfection. So now, Krishna gives the third option. First option is what? Prema bhakti. Second option is what? He says you practice sadhana bhakti. Now, third option is, now you do karma mishra bhakti. Karma mishra bhakti means, it is also bhakti, but there attachment is not for Krishna, attachment is for karma. See, this karma means activity. It is such a strong thing, powerful thing. It is very difficult not to do than to do. Suppose there is a child. You tell the child, sit at one place and don't do anything. It is more difficult for the child to practice this principle of not doing anything than to do something. Now you tell a businessman, you have got already maybe 2 crore rupees in your account, in your bank. You have your own house. Put your 2 crore rupees in the bank, you get some interest. Especially in India, you get lots of interest. At least 6-7% interest you get. And live a peaceful life, chant 64 rounds. Will you do that? He can live a very peaceful life. No, it is not possible for him. Because there is a strong desire to do business. Even though there is a risk of losing the money, he does it. But he will not live a peaceful life. Like one businessman, a young boy, was married recently. He came to me, the devotee, both husband and wife are devotees. He told me, Prabhuji, so much of problems, so much of tension in the company. I got this thing, I have this problem, the boss is shouting at me, that is happening, and my wife is also going for work. You know, what happened to you? I just want to be peaceful, Prabhuji. I'm just waiting for the time. How can I chant nicely? How can I be peaceful? I told, I'll give you a formula. How you can be very peaceful and then you can chant as much as you want. You can just be read Bhagavatham, worship the deities. You can just preach Krishna consciousness. They told, please tell me the formula approach. How can I do that? I really want to do it. He told. Your wife is also willing to do it. Yes, Prabhuji, whatever. She is also fed up with her job, fed up with everything, city life and all. We just want to be peaceful. I told, do you have a house, your own house? He told her, by God's mercy, I'm also earning nicely, my wife is also earning nicely, and we somehow cleared the loan which you had taken for the house. I said, how much your house is costing? So he stays in a very posh locality in Mumbai. So I told him that how much your house would cost. He said, "Sorry, my house would cost around 2.5 crore rupees." Uh, 2.5 crore rupees. Uh, then I asked him, "Will you sell it? How much you get?" He told, "The market is down, Prabhuji, I make it 2 crore rupees." I told, "Okay, very good." I asked him which village you belong to. He told, "Prabhuji, I belong to a village and a beautiful village. We have a rear nearby." He started describing the glory of the village. Then I told him, "What is the cost of the land in your village?" I told, "Why, Prabhuji, we already have 10 acres of land there." "Okay, very good. Your house?" "Nobody says, Prabhuji, nice, beautiful house. Now some repairs are required." I told you, "Sell your houses in Bombay. You get 2 crore rupees. And 50 lakh rupees you can go and nicely build a house there in your village. And your 10 acres of land, you can grow your own vegetables, you can grow everything nicely. And 1 crore rupees you put in the bank. 50 lakh rupees you just keep for hand expenses. From 1 crore rupees every month you get 50,000 rupees. You can chant a whole day, 64 rounds. You can preach in your village. Why don't you have a very nice, wonderful life? One who gets 50,000 rupees in the village will be very happy. He can live like a king in the village. Why you want to struggle in the gutter of Bombay? I know you told I wanted to be very happy, peaceful. I am giving you the peace formula, take it." Then his face completely turned. He expressed his fear. "Prabhuji, how can I do that?" I told, "You only wanted the formula. You can be very peaceful, happy, practice nice chanting and be happy. You can preach. That is what you expressed, your desire. I am giving you the formula, take it." Prabhuji, not possible. I told, "Why?" He was quiet. And I told, "Not possible because you want to suffer. What you told me that I want to be peaceful, that is the biggest lie. It is a lie. People say, I want peace. Yes, I am giving you peace formula, practical peace formula. But people don't want. Because they want to suffer. Because the attachment for karma is so strong. Attachment for doing something is so strong. Attachment for suffering. Attachment for anxiety is so strong. And the area of practicality, we are given up simple life. So, this is by nature's law, karya karma. There is a very strong desire in everyone to do something. It's a very strong, very strong impulse. Utayaha karma vasana. Utayaha, uti means one of the 10 subjects matters of Bhagavatham. After sargo visargascha tanam poshanotaya manvantri sharadapani yoto muktidanshreya. In that, one of the subject matter is uti. Uti has been defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Utayaha Karmavasana. Karmavasana. Karmavasana is nothing but Kamavasana. Kamavasana is there inside. And that is covered by a nice wonderful layer called Karmavasana, called responsibility. We talk about responsibility a lot. What is the meaning of that responsibility? It is a glorified word to cover our desire in our consciousness. Because we have a lot of desires. That is why we want to cover up the desire by the word called responsibility. Anyhow, so no, Krishna knows it. Prithu Maharaj knows it. We just cannot say a person, stand and be happy. Because he's stuck up in matters so much. That is why this term comes called Karma Yoga. What is the meaning of Karma Yoga? It means, okay, you have a strong desire to do something, do for Krishna. So doing for Krishna is called Karma Yoga. In that Karma Yoga is also bhakti. But why it is called Karma Yoga? Because in Karma Yoga, the attachment is more for the work and the result of work. Attachment for Krishna is not there in Karma Yoga. When you are attached to Krishna and doing something, that is called bhakti. When you are attached to work and doing for Krishna, and that is called karma. So, purely what is the difference between Karma Yoga or Karma Mishra Bhakti and Shuddha Bhakti? The difference is attachment. Difference is in the consciousness. In your consciousness, you are just thinking for doing things for Krishna. You're attached to Krishna, not to work. Even somebody snatches your work, then also you're okay with it. Somebody loses a job also, he's okay with it, no problem. Huh? So if that is the consciousness, that means it's bhakti. When somebody loses a job, and he has lost his a facility to execute his tendencies to do some work, and he's suffering because of that. He's feeling bad because of that. That means he's attached to that work, not the person who is working for. And that becomes karma yoga. And its karma yoga is at two levels. One is attachment to the work and attachment to the result of work. So in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna first used the option of prayer bhakti, like the Vijayapatnis who just Mayeva Nagasva, Mayi Buddhismeshaya, Devashishati Mayeva Thautama Samshaha. There's nothing beyond it, Krishna says. If you cannot do that, Atachittam Samadhatum Nashaknoshi, if you're not able to maintain your consciousness, the level of love, Abhyasa Yugutena, what you do? You do Abhyasa. That is sadhana bhakti. Abhyas Yogya Samarthosi. If you cannot do Abhyas also, if you cannot do practice of your devotional service, sadhana bhakti, then what to do? Mat karma karataramo bhava. You do work for me. Because you are attached to work than me. So at least some attachment will develop for me by working for me. So then somebody says, not only work, I am also attached to the result. Then Krishna says that if you are not able to do work for me, then what to do? Mat karma paramo bhava madartha karmani kurvam siddhimapsasi. Then next Krishna says that sarva karma phalatyaga tatak kuru yatatmavan atetat samarthosi. Tatak kuru yatatmavan. What you do? You work. Offer your result for me. Offer the result of your work for me. Like if you want to really see practically how one can get connected to Krishna, if you go from bottom to top, it is like that. Everybody is working somewhere or other, somehow or other, according to their tendency. And now, how can that work be purified? The work, purification of the work, the tendency to do work can be purified by offering the result of work to Krishna. Somebody is working and he gets the result in the form of money or some other thing. Then first you do offering to that, offering of that. What happens when you start offering the result of work to Krishna? Purification of the result of work, because nothing can be earned without doing sin. No money can be earned without doing sin. It is a fact. People think that, oh, I am earning in a sinless way. No. The very moment you start working and earning, there is sin involved in it. So, purification happens because you are connecting the result of work to Krishna. Purification of the result of work. Number 2, the work itself. Number 3, the consciousness of my attachment to the work and the result of work. That attachment gets purified. 3 levels of purification happens. One is the result, that means money, the ingredients, house, the things which you have in the house, everything. That all gets purified just because you are giving one part to Krishna. That is called karma phalatyaga. Next, while doing so, certain amount of purification happens. Now you are not attached to the result of work now. The attachment is there still for the work. Then what you do? You work for Krishna. So from a donor mentality, you come to the mentality of a congregation devotee, where you are interested in doing some service to Krishna. If you don't give service to Krishna, if somebody is not giving service, then you're not really attached to the temple. That is why, if you really want to run a temple nicely, the manager should be very expert in giving some engagement to the congregation, because this is by nature's law that there is an attachment to do something. And people love to do, congregation would love to do something for Krishna. That is why temple is a facility for people to serve Krishna according to the mood of Krishna. Because that is how the love for Krishna manifests in the consciousness by serving for me, even though there is attachment to do something. There is no attachment to chanting, there is no attachment to hearing this. There is some attachment, but not that kind of attachment. What happens? There is attachment to doing something. When you do something for Krishna, then what happens? There is some reciprocation. Okay, it is satisfaction. I have done something. It may be one book, of selling one book. It may be cooking one sabji for Rajgop. Oh, one special satisfaction comes. Oh, I have done something. And that satisfaction transforms into an attachment for hearing and chanting. In few days, few months, maybe it's all Krishna's mercy. So in this way, sadhana bhakti, one's mind is fixed in sadhana. Then after a few years, maybe it depends on different kinds of practitioners. What develops is a taste for sadhana. They start getting up early in the morning, worshipping the Lord, chanting 16 rounds at one stretch, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and doing archana. Totally the mind is absorbed in this practice of Krishna consciousness. So then he becomes more mature, like kind of a consciousness, like a full-time brahmachari or something like that, or sannyasi. And this is the third step from bottom to top, that is offering the result, and then offering work, and then sadhana, and ultimately what is the fourth one? Topmost one? Akatittam, that is Mayevanagastva, my buddhi. This I am explaining because Srila Prabhupada talks about yoga ladder. This is called yoga ladder. That is Karma Vishwabhakti. These are two kinds. Attachment to results, offering the results and offering the work. And then third one, sadhana and prema. So this is called yoga ladder. Many people have this idea that there are three kinds of yogas. Anything we want to take up, and then you can reach the same goal. No, it is not. Actually, yoga ladder is actually one process, that is bhakti. There is no other process. Depending on the consciousness of a person, that person's practice is defined as karma yoga or jnana yoga or bhakti yoga, etc. So it is not that there are three different ladders, there is only one ladder. Why there are different yogas then? Depending on the positions, person's position in the ladder, the yoga has been taught like that or defined like that. So that is what we should be very clear about. Now, coming to this point, Prithu Maharaj talks about something one step ahead. Means those who say, no, we are not interested in even offering to Krishna. What about them? We are only interested in the result of karma. We are only interested in enjoyment. Then Prithu Maharaj talks to them, such people, in two verses, that is 34th and 35th verse. This is for those people who are not interested in Krishna. Even such people have to be interested in Krishna. Even such people have to take up Krishna consciousness, even to satisfy your own desire. Because it is very interesting philosophy, and we should always remember this statement which I am going to speak. Bhakti is independent. It is not dependent of karma, jnana and yoga. Whereas karma, jnana and yoga, they are dependent on bhakti to give the result. So if somebody wants to attain the result of karma, without bhakti, karma will not give result. Without bhakti, even yoga will not give result. Without bhakti, even jnana will not give result. So our conditioned state of consciousness gets attached to these three things: karma, jnana and yoga. Those who are interested in bhakti, enjoyment, they do karma. Those who are interested in some liberation, they practice the process of jnana. Those who are interested in siddhi, they practice the process of yoga. So even if somebody wants to get their karma phala, until unless they do bhakti, karma will not give its phala. Now, you see that Durga, now Navaratri is going on. Now, previously we had Ganesha Chaturthi. You go to different pandals, different places where they are doing some kind of karma or upasana. You find at the end, after doing all their Ganesh Sutya, Durga Stuti, they have to say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They chant this mantra. Of course, they chant the other way, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Why that mantra has to be chanted then? Because the Brahmin who's getting the karma done, he knows very well, until they chant the name of Krishna, even that karma of worshipping Ganesh or worshipping Durga, that karma result will not come. So that bhakti is called bhakti mishra karma. So there is a lot of difference between karma mishra bhakti and bhakti mishra karma. Karma mishra bhakti means we, practically most of these people in ISKCON, though we are preaching pure devotional service, we are doing karma mishra bhakti. That is also bhakti, but some attachment for work and result of work is there. Now you go and tell a devotee, no, why don't you give up this seva and do other thing? No, I'll only do this seva. Simple. So there is attachment for that work. Now that is karma mishra bhakti, but there is something called bhakti mishra karma. That person is not interested in karma, interested in bhakti, but is interested in karma. But Prithu Maharaj is telling all his citizens, even if you want to satisfy your desires, understand you have to worship the Paramatma who is in your heart. That is why the 35th verse starts with this particular statement by Prithu Maharaj. He says, Pradhana Kalashaya Pradhana Kalashaya Dharma Sangrahe Sharira Yesha Pratipatya Chetanam Sharira Yesha Pratipatya Chetanam. So Sharira, this body. What is this body? This body is made up of Pradhana, Kala, and Ashaya, that is the previous life's impressions, sanskaras, and the fourth one is karma. This is how the original, the subtle form of the body is manifest because of these four things. We all know what is pradhana. Pradhana means, of course, the third canto describes more about it, pradhana. But to give a small introduction of pradhana, it is the unmanifested state of the modes of nature. And another name of pradhana is avyakta and Brahma. All these things are there, many names are there. Pradhana. And now this pradhana, when the Lord sees the pradhana, from the eyes of the Lord, Kala Shakti comes. So this Kala Shakti agitates the pradhana. And what happens? Ashaya. Ashaya means the impressions of the previous life are manifest in the conditioned consciousness, the living entity. And though the impressions have come along with that, there is one more thing which is required, that is karma. The word dharma has been used for karma here, because one performs the activities, and the result of the activities are bound by a higher living entity, a higher demigods, Adidaiva. So they direct the course of the living entity, where to take birth, how to take birth, etc. Karmana, Devanetena. That is why karma is called as dharma here. Pradhana Kala Ashaya Dharma Sangrahe. This body is nothing but the Sangraha. Sangraha means the aggregate or the mixture or the totality of Pradhana, Kala, Ashaya, Dharma. Unmanifested modes of material nature, the one sense material nature, Kala, which is actually agitating it, Ashaya, the previous impressions, and of course you may have many desires, but desires can only be fulfilled according to the limitations of your karma, so dharma. Now, Ritumala says, Yesha Shariraha, in this Sharira, which is full of so many desires, Yesha Sharira, in this body, Pratipatya Chetanam, Pratipatya Chetanam, the Lord Himself is sitting there and giving you a particular kind of chetana, particular kind of intelligence He gives you. So He is in the body. Now what you should do, you should offer your karmas to that Lord. Kriya Phalatvena Vibhur Vibhavyate. Now, Kriya Phalatvena Vibhur Vibhavyate. Everybody is doing some karma. Do you think karma result comes because of karma? No. Karma result cannot be attained by karma until unless the Lord blesses it. That is what Prithu Maharaj is giving the knowledge of Paramatma as karma phala pradata. So, the materialistic people, those who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, for them, who are interested only in enjoyment, they should know your enjoyment can only be possible because of Krishna. Then they say, is it so? Oh, then they start understanding that there is somebody called Krishna, there is some Paramatma who is actually Karmaphala Pradata. So when they become conscious of even my enjoyment is also because of Krishna, so let me do something for the person who is giving me enjoyment. In this way, there is a chance of becoming a devotee. That is why when a Bhakti Mishra Karma or one Karmi who is actually understood that the philosophy behind karma, that is, even for me to live, even for me to drink water and get satisfaction from water, it is happening because there is Krishna behind it. So what he develops some kind of appreciation for Krishna consciousness. That is how a preacher like Prithu Maharaj is accommodating everyone. Though the philosophy what he preached was pure devotional service, but somehow to get people connected to Krishna, Prithu Maharaj is saying this thing. And then we know in the first canto, fifth chapter, it is clearly described that yadatma kriyate karma bhagavat trikoshanam jnanam yattad adinam hi bhakti yoga samanvitam. Bhakti yoga samanvitam. Ultimately, every conditioned soul who is interested in sense enjoyment, if he is told your sense enjoyment is also possible because of Krishna, then what happens? Though he is not interested in Krishna, one day he will develop appreciation for Krishna. So this is the expertise of our preachers, of our acharyas, that somehow or other connect people to Krishna. In International Society for Krishna Consciousness, though we are practicing pure devotional service, we are professing, preaching pure devotional service, we are more interested in some or other getting people connected to Krishna in different ways and means. In so many different ways and means. Of course, the result of their actions is only dependent on their Shraddha. That is why the second part of the verse, there is a beautiful example given. Kriya phalatvena vibhur vibhavyate yakaralo darushu tad gunatmakaha. Darushu tad gunatmakaha. Tad gunatmakaha. Like you have fire. You have different kinds of wood. Not only different kinds of wood, different shapes of wood, different fragrance of wood, different density of wood. Wood also, many varieties. Suppose you take a sandalwood and you light fire to it. What will happen? The whole room will be filled with the fragrance of sandalwood. And you take some other wood and then you try to light that wood like agru, like your frankincense, that is also sap of one tree. If you take that and then you start burning it, you will get different smell. And you just take some teak wood, you will get different smell. The same way, depending on the devotee's Shraddha in Krishna, while offering their karma, while offering their activity, Krishna reciprocates accordingly. Not everybody gets the same result. So here, Prithu Maharaj is instructing that yatha shakti, yatha shraddha, somehow get connected to Krishna. And that is my duty. The king's duty is this. What is that? Depending on the different levels of consciousness of his citizens, Every citizen should be facilitated to connect to Krishna according to the level of consciousness. Not only the king, the duty of the president is also that of a president of a temple or a guru is that. What is that? So there are so many different strata of consciousness among people. So a temple should give an accommodation for everyone. Some or other get connected to Krishna. Of course, Srila Prabhupada talks about the best way of connecting everyone to Krishna is to connect them to chanting the names of Krishna. So even though everybody is chanting the names of Krishna, ultimately the reciprocation is according to person's consciousness. Like the example is given that of daru, and wood, of different shapes, different fragrance. When they lit fire, the fire is also of different fragrance and different kinds. But one thing is common. What is that one thing common? The fire burns the wood. All the wood are burned by the fire. So one day or other, some or other, if somebody gets connected to Krishna, their karma starts burning. Karma bandhana starts burning. And one day or other, today or tomorrow, they will completely attain Krishna consciousness, the highest level of Krishna consciousness, Krishna prema. It is a question of time. So, the whole responsibility of the king is to make the citizens Krishna conscious, provide facility for the citizens to connect with Krishna according to the level of consciousness, and that's actually administration. So when Prithu Maharaj is speaking this thing, the philosophy becomes so practical and so wonderful. That is why it is a responsibility of every leader in the society to make philosophy practical for every individual in the society. That's called management, that's called administration. House, even the house. Every time the mother and the father should think that anybody who is there in the house, somehow or other let them be connected to Krishna. What is house is also a facility for people to somehow connect to Krishna according to the levels of consciousness. Ultimately, Srila Prabhupada talks then by practicing this way, what happens? Bhunam Janmanam Jnanavam Prapadyate. They come to the level of complete surrender to Krishna. To bring a person to the complete level of surrender to Krishna, it takes so much, so many different levels, so many different things. All the endeavors of preaching is nothing but what? To cater to everyone so that ultimately they come to the level of complete surrender to Krishna. If you tell a person, just surrender to Krishna, he will not be able to do that. Maybe he may try to do, but it is not going to fit onto him. That is why there are so many options given by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Like a nice example to summarize the entire thing is this. You have kept the clothes for drying outside on your terrace. Wind came and the cloth has flown away and then fell on a thorny bush. And you go there to try to remove the cloth. If you just remove the cloth, what happens? The cloth gets torn off. What you should do? Gradually, one by one, you remove the thorns, one by one. And when the minimum contact is there with the thorny bush, then you pull the cloth. That is complete surrender. So, to bring a person to Saradharman Parityaja, it is a great effort and a great endeavor. That's called preaching. So, Prithu Maharaj is preaching to all the citizens that all of you, some or other, get connected to Krishna. That Krishna is not very far. He is in your heart. He is the cause of your simple activities of eating. You eat. Who is digesting that food? Do you think it is by your strength you are digesting? No, it is because of Krishna. Oh, knowing this develops appreciation for Krishna. And appreciation makes a person to offer something to Krishna, and makes a person to work for Krishna, and makes a person to practice some practices so that he can develop love for Krishna, and ultimately develop love for Krishna. So this is how we can summarize this verse. Any questions? Please to ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. So Prabhuji, like if we have to when we are preaching, for example, how do we know what method to apply? Somebody whether to ask somebody to um, like do one thing or the other, or because everybody is in different modes. So I'm just wondering, is chant of course chanting is the best, but still there is this because our propensities are different and
Yes. For that, you should know the person. Without knowing the person, it is very difficult to engage a person. That is why a strong relationship should be first established with the person, by which you know what the person likes to do. It's not very easy. It's not. I don't have any direct answer for it. I can only give principle. Like you know your husband, your children, or your father, your mother very nicely. You know them what they like and what they like to do, what they like to eat. So only when you have that kind of rapport, you can really engage a person in Krishna consciousness. You just can't. It's not just administration. Okay, put him here, put him there. It doesn't work like that. That is why we have this smaller groups. But Thakur envisioned the smaller groups where there is a tight bondage between the devotees, and each devotee knows, especially the leader of the group, the Ramartha leader, he knows practically everything about the person, everything about the family, everything about the child and family, everything about the. So only that person has the right to really engage, because just for example, just somebody is a very knowledgeable sannyasi, he just comes to delivers a lecture, and then one lady will go and ask, what should I do, and she gives ask a very practical solution to a problem which she is facing. Now the sannyasi just cannot give an advice; he can only give some principles, can give some philosophy, maybe some pacification. That is why at that time the sannyasi should call, who is your mentor? That means, who is the person who knows you very well? So he should say that you just follow what he says or she says. So that is what I can say. It's not easy to engage, to know people's propensities and their level of consciousness, their problems. Not easy. I can only tell in the principles of it. That's all. That is relationship. When you have strong relationships, that is the time you know that person very nicely. Otherwise, you know the externals, and externals will don't work. Ultimately, teaching is not giving lectures. Just a few years of practice, or be with somebody like who can give a good, nice talk. You can also speak nicely, give nice classes. That's only 5% of preaching Krishna consciousness. The real preaching is to engage devotees in practical devotional service. That is the difference between Srila Prabhupada and all the other so-called gurus. All the so-called gurus, they just give lectures and went. But Srila Prabhupada engaged. They must word 3 times. Engage. And that is how this movement is surviving. Because the spiritual masters, the temple presidents, the congregation leaders, there's somehow or other, they just want to engage that person, connect that person to Krishna. And that is called a mother. So giving a lecture, being guru is very easy, but being a mother is very difficult. So every leader, brahmacharya, ashram leader, congregation leader should be more mother, because the mother is always trying to engage the children. Okay. Any more questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Kuti Kuti Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. My question is also related this question. Prabhuji, the family members are so sincere and they are worshipping Hanumanji or Mata Rani. Yes, they are hearing Krishna Katha after 15 years or they are eating prasadam. But Prabhuji, they are not accepting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we are not sincere to give a Krishna conscious to them. They do our seva also when we are making Chappan Bhoga. They welcome the Vaishnava also. But only they are not
Chanting.
as Prabhu.
So every living entity, Krishna has a plan for them. And Krishna reciprocates to them according to their Shraddha. So whatever services they have done, do you think Krishna will forget?
No.
They have welcomed Vaishnavas. They have done some seva for the Vaishnavas. They have some seva for the cows. Or they have done some seva for the deities. They give some donation. Do you think Krishna will forget? In a conditioned state, people do something to us, we forget. That is our nature. But Krishna never forgets it. Of course. Chanting, complete surrender. It takes time. You can inspire them, but don't force. Don't force. You inspire them. Speak to them of knowledge. Speak with the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Talk about Hanuman. If they are worshipping Hanuman, oh, they are worshipping a great Vaishnava. They are worshipping Durga. She is a great Vaishnavi. It's not ordinary. Explain to them whom they are worshipping. They will be very happy to hear about. Now Navratri is going on. Navratri, talk about Durga Devi. Talk about how she is a great devotee of Krishna. They will be happy to hear about it. So by hearing, what happens is they will become Krishna conscious. At the same time, they will develop an appreciation for you. That is, you know better about my Ishtadev, Ishtadevata. You know better about her, Durga, than me. You know better about Hanuman than me. That is what happened to my relatives. They were Pakka devotees of Lord Shiva, not relatives, distant relatives, something like that. They are Pakka devotees of Lord Shiva. So when I was giving class, that person did not even come to the class because he knew I'm going to talk about Krishna. South India, you know, the Shaivism and Vaishnavism too much. So then, after that thing, the wife told, why don't you come to our house? My husband is there, he did not come to class. So I went there. As soon as I saw, they are showing, they have Shiva Ashtaka written on the paper, everything was there. So I went there and paid obeisances. When I paid obeisances to Lord Shiva in their house, the husband was shocked because he knows a Vaishnava and he has never seen or heard a Vaishnava paying obeisances to Lord Shiva in that locality, in that town, one town. He was shocked. Then he told me, I'm worshipping Lord Shiva. Then I told, I also worship Lord Shiva. Then he became very curious. How is it so? 2 hours discussion. He was so happy. I told him, I wanted to hear about Lord Shiva, but I did not find. But I had a lot of affection for Lord Shiva. Now I understood who is he. Now I'll chant Hare Krishna for the pleasure of Lord Shiva. So it is yukti. It is technique, that's all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandrat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for
Hare
such
Krishna.
an class. It was excellent. So as you were speaking, I just wanted one clarification about the point that you were mentioning is the tendency to be engaged in active services rather than probably chanting or continuous listening is more because of our karma vasanas that we have been having. We are always engaged in some kind of karma, and that's the reason why that is more interesting. Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to. Because
attachment. He engages her is different. The problem is the attachment. So if suppose, for example, one day the engagement is not there, then if his mind is chanting, then fine. But he becomes very restless because of this thing. That means still the trust is there because of karma vasana is there.
Yeah, very interesting, Prabhu. As usual, as always, thank you very much. It was a brilliant class. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandot Pranams. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very beautiful class. So basically, like, in ISKCON, we have systematic development of devotees up to the level of chanting, 16 rounds in seeking initiation. But, after that is the whole thing that starts, like, as you explained, the four things about in the 12th chapter, Atha Chittam Samadhatum, then do the activities. So, very deep-rooted, Prabhuji. Like, we may get into illusion that, we are doing bhakti, but when we read all this, we know where we are and how much that heart is so much knotted with so many vasanas. So, Prabhuji, one may be chanting for a long time, doing devotional service, but internally, if we have not developed this, we are not going up in the yoga ladder, like we may be fooling ourselves. So I was wondering, is there any, system for that to apply and see personally, and also to make it like how we have systems of Siksha level and then Diksha level like that? Or the 9 process starting from Madhav, Shraddha till Prema.
Yeah. That requires that is, it's more than system. It is again coming back to the same thing which I answered in the first question, the relationship. The mentor or the spiritual master, the personal guidance. There in personal guidance, you cannot have systems in that. For certain, at a certain level, you can have systems, external. But internal things, you cannot have systems. It's only personal guidance. And that can happen only when we are constantly engaged in taking responsibility in serving the Lord, to devotees. It is a process. It's a process which happens automatically as the time progresses. But one thing you need to keep in mind is we should give more time as the time goes by, more and more time for hearing and chanting. The more we give time for that, because the biggest effect which we have in our life is time. If you are able to give more time for Bhagavatam, more time for really chanting, that means our progress is happening towards your devotional service. That's what I can say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. That really helped.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I just had one more question, like basic question. So you were talking about Karma Mishra Bhakti and just Karma Yoga and all that. So, yes. So in the second and the third chapters of Bhagavad Gita, when Prabhupada uses this term Buddhi Yoga, what does it mean? Does it mean Karma Mishra Bhakti?
Very good question. Buddhi Yoga means Karma Mishra Bhakti. Now the question is, why it is called Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi Yoga, it is called Buddhi Yoga because in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 11th verse to the 30th verse, what did Krishna speak? He spoke about Jnana Yoga, or in other words, called Sankhya. That is why in the 39th verse of the second chapter, Krishna says, Yeshate Avita Sankhye, Buddhi Yogam Primam Shunu. Now hear about Buddhi Yoga. When he says, now hear about Buddhi Yoga, what is he talking about? Karmanyevadhikarasya Mahapalesha, 47th verse, 48th verse, 49th verse. It is all about karma. So, Buddhi Yoga means Karma Yoga. Why it is called Buddhi Yoga? Because When Karma Yoga means acting on the platform of knowledge. You got knowledge, I am not this body and spirit soul. So acting on the platform of knowledge is called karma. So what is the thing which combines the knowledge and action? It is buddhi, intelligence. So it is the intelligence which brings the knowledge that I am not this body and spirit soul, and the tendency to act together. Samanvaya. Jnana karma samanvaya. The harmonization of jnana and karma is done by the intelligence. That is why karma yoga is called buddhi yoga.
So it's still it is Karma Mishra or it is just a Karma? How do
It is karma mishra. It is karma mishra bhakti. Yes, yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for that clarification. Hare Krishna.
We stop here.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class today. Does anybody has any more questions for Prabhuji at this point? Well, Prabhuji, thank you so much once again. We are really grateful to you for this wonderful class and look forward to having your association again in future. If nobody has any more questions, we would like to end the call here. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Vancha kalptarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavnebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवजन की जय। ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.